Spring snaps are durable, easy to use, and give your handmade garments a clean, professional finish. In this video, I'll show you how to install them. Let's snap to it! These are the supplies you will need. Snaps, an awl, a snap setting tool, which includes a metal punch and base, a hammer, a hard metal surface, like an anvil or a cast iron pan, marking tool, and pins. First, you will need to mark the placement of your snaps. If you are sewing from a pattern, this is often noted on the pattern piece. For my project, I transferred my marking onto the fabric by pressing the cap into the fabric so that the metal shaft in the back left an indent. I did measure to make sure the indent was centered. Then I marked it with a fabric pen. To transfer this marking to the underside of the waistband, I stuck a pin through the mark at a perpendicular angle. Then I gently separated the layers and marked where the pin met the underside. I repeated the process for the other snap. Here are my markings, 2 on the upper waistband where the tops of the snaps will go, and 2 on the under waistband where the bottom of the snaps will go. Now let's take a closer look at the snap parts. Each snap consists of 4 pieces: a cap, a socket, a post, and a stud. The cap and socket form the top half of the snap, while the post and stud form the bottom half. First, we are going to set the cap and socket. The fabric of the project gets sandwiched between these 2 pieces, so we need to first create a hole in the fabric using an awl. Line the tip of the awl up with your marking and work it through all the layers. I like to push it through from both sides to open the fibers evenly. Next, take the cap and, working from the right side of the fabric, push this little metal shaft through the hole you just made. You should see the shaft protruding through to the wrong side. Now take your socket and align it with the cap. Next, you'll need a hard surface for setting the snap. I have a tiny anvil expressly for this purpose, but the back of a cast iron pan works just as well. Take your snap setting tool and place the base block with the concave side facing up. Then rest the cap in that indentation. Now we need to flare the shaft of the cap to lock the socket in place. To do this, take the shaped end of your punch and place it in the inner metal shaft of the cap. Holding the punch perpendicular to the snap, give the flat end of the punch a few good taps with a hammer. The first cap is set. Now we need to do the back of the snap. Once again, take your awl and poke a hole in your fabric. The goal isn't to cut a hole in the fabric. It's to work the awl between the fibers, spreading them apart instead of breaking them. Now we are going to set the stud and post. You need the pieces that look like this. Working from the underside of the fabric, push the post through the hole you just made. I had to work some of the fibers out of the way with my fingers. Then take your stud and position it over the post like this. I'm going to use the underside of a cast iron pan to set the post and stud. Take the base of your snap setting tool and flip it to the side that has this metal pin in the middle. Align the hole in the bottom of the post with that pin. Once again, take the shaped end of your punch, line it up with the metal shaft of the post, and hammer the pieces together. And that's the first snap finished! I'll speed through the second one so you can see the whole process one more time. And that's all there is to setting spring snaps. Once you've done a couple, the process becomes pretty quick and straightforward. Here are a few finished waistbands so you can see how the snaps look once they're installed. Thanks for watching, and happy sewing!